welcome to our video today. Today our topic is why Zimbabwe uses multiple currencies. In Zimbabwe, if you walk into a shop, customer 1 is using US dollar, customer 2 is paying in ZiG, customer 3 is paying electronically with their card, and sometimes customer 4 in areas like Bulawayo or Beitbridge, they are using rand. This is happening in one country. And my question is, how did Zimbabwe end up using multiple currencies? One country, same people, multiple currencies. Okay, it started in the 1980s. 1980, Zimbabwe gained independence, and there was a Zim dollar that was introduced. It was stronger more than the US dollar, and the economy was flourishing. And that was the time when Zimbabwe was the breadbasket of Africa, to be precise. Life was good, everything was working normally, agriculture, every other part of the economy, it was very pretty. So how did we get here? Then in the late 90s, the economy started to struggle. We cannot get into too much detail on what really transpired because right now we are focusing only on the current part. Early 90s, the economy started to struggle. There were large and budgeted payouts to war veterans. Investors started to panic because if not majority, but if a lot of people start to have loads of monies, whether in cash, whether in their bank accounts, that screams some fear in an investor because economies are not supposed to function that way. So the Zimbabwean dollar lost significant value in a single day. It was known as the Black Friday. Confidence weakened and the currency was down. Then around 1998, Zimbabwe enters the Second Congo War. Government spending increased a lot. And around 2000, land reform was introduced. That's where we had A1, A2 farmers. And because these farmers were not really, what can I say? I'm trying to find the exact word. They were not trained, the knowledge was limited in terms of agriculture, considering what was there and what came. Things happened so fast. Tobacco exports, they declined. Agriculture, it fell sharply. And less foreign currencies started to enter Zimbabwe, like it became less and less. So when there's less production, there's less money coming into the economy, and that's when the disaster started. Then around 2001 to around 2006, there was money printing. We are talking of a period where you could send a child with $1 million to the shops to buy bread, and in the afternoon it won't be enough. Money will be filled in bags. You would need billions and trillions of dollars to buy one single stuff. So it was just non-livable, and the government increasingly increased financial spending. Bread becomes more expensive, fuel, salaries much less every month, or rather much useless. Then there was hyperinflation around 2007, 2008. I remember that one, it even affected schools. Like children couldn't go to school, workers couldn't go to work because everything was crippled. And Zimbabwe in 2007, it officially entered hyperinflation. And prices would change daily or within hours. For example, you go to the shop right now and you buy bread for $1. Within 2 hours, you go there, the bread is now $15. If you go in the evening, the bread is now $100. This was the reality. And we could have 10 million, $100 billion note, $100 trillion note. This is reality. And money became worthless because what do you mean each and every person can have a $100 trillion note that doesn't buy a thing? And people rush to spend money because if you don't spend it, tomorrow it will be useless. And inflation in Zimbabwe around that period, around 2008, it reached the highest levels ever recorded. Then around 2009, there was a turning point. Zimbabwe officially allowed foreign currencies. That's when people started to use US dollars, South African rand, Botswana pula, British pound, and euros. The country started to have stable money. Shops began filling up. It was around 2008, 2007. Shops would be empty. Sometimes you go into a shop and find maybe firewood. Or if there is food, you won't buy maybe more than 2 or more than 1 because other people also need it. The economy, other people in the area also need it. So you cannot just buy much because you have the money. It was not like that. There was some sort of like rationing. Then around 2009 to around 2015, prices were stable, businesses were opening, savings, they started to hold value, and some investors, they slowly retain. But problem is Zimbabwe cannot print US dollar. There was cash shortages and bank ran out of notes. Why? Because most people were not banking their money. The reason is they were afraid. They had the early 2000s, 2007, 8 traumas. So banking money became a scare. If you get money in your bank, you withdraw it and keep it at home. So in 2016, there was an introduction of bond notes. Zimbabwe started to print money, bond notes. They were green, beautiful money. Sometimes you would choose them instead of US dollar because for that time they were equal. 1 bond note is equal to 1 US dollar. And they worked. But the confidence of the money slowly started to fall again because this is something that has been lived before. It was not something new. Then around 2019, there was an introduction of RTGS, another Zimbabwean dollar again, another Zimbabwean local currency again. But the problem with these bond notes, RTGS, is that you cannot use them anywhere else except in Zimbabwe. So foreign currencies started to shrink again. Inflation returned. 1 bond note today, 1 RTGS today is equal to $1. Tomorrow you need 5 RTGS equal to $2, and the cycle began again. Then around 2020, multiple currencies returned. Government allowed foreign currencies again. Things are just not the way they are supposed to be, and it became a multi-currency economy. It was just not proper. Around 2024, there was a Zimbabwean Gold note again. This is the third one from 2016. It was supposed to reduce inflation, increase confidence, bank the currency with gold and foreign reserves, right? Then some business they accepted it. Many people continue to prefer US dollar because a US dollar is stable and most transactions still take place in foreign currency. Most of them, they have more confidence in foreign currency. Then if we look at today, people choose foreign currency. Why? For example, a South African rand, a Botswana pula. These people have been using their money for decades. Fluctuations happen just like anywhere else, but they don't have the thing that today 1 pula is equal to today a 1 US dollar is equal to 20 pula, then tomorrow is equal to 100 pula. No, they are usually stable. They don't usually have sharp increases or sharp declines. They are usually stable. Even if we check the South African rand, the stability is there. So availability, convenience, because most of people in Zimbabwe, due to the informal trading, they usually go to this country, so it's easier to use than when you need foreign currency. Now you go to the bank, sometimes they tell you that they don't have notes. It's a whole lot of stuff. So people started usually accepting these foreign currencies than having faith in our own currency. Even fuel stations, some accept US dollar, another shop will accept Zig, some doesn't, will tell you it doesn't work. So it's been like that. And currently there is also another note, though I cannot go into detail about it, but you can literally see how things has been for Zimbabwe from around 1980s to the current year in 2026. Different payment methods still exist. There is a lot of financial institutions. Things are getting a little bit better. Plastic money is now widely available. For example, Mukuru, Eco Cash, Omari, Inbugs, and then our own traditional banks. So even if you don't have much to open an account, you can still use just your ID and some basic information, and you can have an Inbox account. You can have an EcoCash virtual Mastercard. You can even shop online. So it's a little bit better. People started to get help that way, but the problem of the existence of foreign currency, of multiple currencies, is still there in the economy. If we look at this, the lessons that we can get from this is money is built on trust. All these hyperinflations that were happening and people being afraid of banking their US dollars is because they trust those monies, because they know they've been working since forever and they're still working now. And ours, we changed in Zimbabwe, they changed multiple times, but what happened? There was really no long-term value, since the decline was always coming and going. The introducing new one is coming and going. And the experience in Zimbabwe shows that to build such confidence, it takes long than losing it. So what's there to do? What's your suggestion? What do you think Zimbabwe needs to do? What do you think to revive the economy, to help the economy? What needs to be done? On a personal level, on your own point of view, any point is welcome in the comment section. We need to know how, why, where, how do you think things should or is supposed to happen? And another question, do you think Zimbabwe should keep using multiple currencies, or should it eventually return to the one national currency? Let me know in the comments. Your comments are very welcome. Thank you so much for listening to my video until the end. You are really, really special, and I hope you can have your add-ons. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.